Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Kappel here. How are you today? Well, for today's reading lesson, I wanted to ask you something. What's your favorite movie ever? Tell your parent. Now, I have another question for you. How do you think it was made? What was the first thing they need to do to make a movie? Okay, tell your parent again. Did you say get a video camera first? Hmm. Actually, the very first thing that's needed to do to make a movie is actually you have to have an author to write a book. And then you have to get actors to read that book over and over and over again until they know the story by heart. Then the actor pretends to be a character in the story. So today I want to teach you that really good readers act out the story in their mind every time they read. Let's try it. If the page says, the biggest billy goat gruff trip trap across the bridge. Did you just see that in your mind? That's right. Avid readers trip trap in their minds. Reading is a lot like pretending. It's like going to the movies. Okay, let's try it. Let's pretend using a story that we know. Do you remember this story that I read the other day? Not Norman, a goldfish story. Okay, so I'm going to read this part. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different pet. Okay, did you just pretend that you were Norman? Well, why aren't you holding a fishbowl? If you don't hold a fishbowl, then you're going to get all wet and you'll have fish all over you. All right, let's try it again. Okay, avid readers, remember, you're going to pretend in your mind. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet. Ah, yes, now I can see. Yeah, you're holding a fishbowl in your mind, and you even got that kind of look that the character has, that discouraged feeling, that discouraged look. Good job. Much better. Much better. Okay. So, readers, the important thing for you to know is that avid readers act out the stories in their minds. Even when they aren't getting up and walking around or holding their arms out like they're holding an imaginary fishbowl. So I'm going to reread the start of the book again. Here we go. And this time, don't actually act anything out, but try pretending in your mind. Okay? All right. So be the boy. Whoops, going the wrong way. Be the boy in the story, kind of looking at your pathetic pet and wishing that you had a better one. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who would climb trees or chase strings, a soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around and around. This is it, Norman, I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him in like this? No one will want a sorry fish in a gunky bowl. Okay, so right now you're used to pretending, and we're working on this. We're just learning kind of how to do this. And what I want you to do today is I want you to, when you get your books, I want you to be reading and pretending at the same time. That's what avid readers do. Okay, so let's try it again. We'll do a couple more pages, but remember, you are that character. Okay, you are feeling what this kid is feeling. You're pretending in your mind. When I drop Norman into his nice clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping and flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. Okay, so are you pretending that you have a goldfish? Yeah, that's what we're doing, boys and girls. We are playing pretend. So you're using the book, you're reading the words, and you are pretending that you're like the actor in a movie, but actually you're in a book. Okay, my friends. Well, I think you've got it. I want you to go practice this. Remember, when you do your reading play date, you have lots and lots of fun things to do with your reading partners. Let's go back to the beginning. Here's our reading play dates. Play school, read aloud, share your reading. That means you're teaching somebody something interesting and they are listening. Playing games. Well, remember, I sent a picture of somebody who, after hearing a story, she played a game. She went out and caught a fish. Check on Seesaw for that picture today. Snap word hunt. That's a fun thing to do. And not only can you go on a snap word hunt while you're reading one of your books, you can put your snap words up around the house and play a game like that too. You're kind of doing two play date activities. Play Guess What's Next. So when we were reading Not Norman, you could say, what do you think is going to happen next? Okay, so when just before you're about to turn the page, when you play Guess What's Next, your friend or your partner or your sister, your brother is trying to figure out, okay, what's the next page? What's the next page going to be? Let's go back to our play dates. These are some fun things you can do with your book. Alphabet Pop It, of course, working with your sounds. Guess the feeling. We have been working a lot on characters' feelings. So you could be reading the story out loud to your family and have them guess what the character is feeling. Like we know how the character in Not Norman is feeling, right? Play pretend, what we just talked about today. Act it out, kind of like what we were also doing if we were holding the pretend fishbowl. Act out the stories. Oh, you could be the big billy goat trip trapping across the bridge, and maybe you could get your sister or your brother or your mom or your dad to be the other billy goats in the story. That's a fun thing to do. Using gestures, that means using your body, your hands, your eyes, your fingers to act out. And of course, playing what's the same, what's the different. What's different, meaning you and your partner, you and your mom or your dad or grandma, grandpa, your big sister, your big brother, and you're both reading side by side, partner reading, and you're talking about what's the same in your books and what's different. Okay, my friends. And the last one, of course, read with feeling. Let's go back to Not Norman. So let's go back to this page. Read with feeling. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. See that? Did you get that feeling? Lots of strong emotion in that story. Okay, my friends. Well, I can't wait to see you later today for our class. And I am so proud of you working so hard at all your reading. That's what you are doing today. Have a great day of reading today, friends. Bye bye for now.